What is up, everybody? You are listening to Enough Daily by your girl, Taylor Marie. This podcast is all about overcoming what you may think is impossible. A place where we discuss tools, topics, and stories that have helped me overcome unhealthy coping patterns. How we feel about ourselves has an enormous impact on our mental health and well-being. Because when we don't feel great about ourselves or consider not being good enough, we tend to make decisions that are not in our best interest. So allow me to not only be a lighthouse for hope for you, but most importantly, a reminder that you are enough. All right. What is up, my self-development people? Because if you were not looking for some type of improvement or self-development in your life, you would not be here. Or maybe someone recommended you here that may think this podcast could benefit you, which I think it could if you are looking to become a better version of yourself. So keep spreading the word, subscribe, let this grow. I hope you could find some benefit out of today. I hope you guys took your brains to the gym this all week. If you haven't listened to that episode on meditation and how meditating is pretty much almost like taking your brain to the gym, just like we take our bodies physically to the gym. So you guys can tap into that episode if you haven't heard it yet. But today, I'm going to be like super transparent with you. And this is actually what I've been going through for the past couple months, like just identity and finding your space and taking quietness and not putting everything into social media. And I think that's what a lot of people get caught up in. And I think for a while I was caught up in the same thing. So I have this written down here and I read it. It's by a sociologist, Charles Cooley. And it says, I am not what I think I am. And I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. I had to read it like 5 times for it to like really sink in. So let's let that marinate. I am not what I think I am. And I am not what you think I am. But I am what I think you think I am. So we're pretty much saying our identity is wrapped into what others are thinking of us or what we think they think of us. So it's like we're constantly portraying and putting on this role for others. But why? Why? And, like just to be, like I was saying, being super transparent with you guys in this episode, I had to really sit back and say, the social media thing is, it's getting to me in a way. And I had to take a step back. So typically when I go MIA off social media, something's wrong. Like something's mentally wrong. Like I'm in a bad place. I'm in a dark place. But honestly, guys, this time it's not. It's more of me just realizing I've been putting so much of my energy and time for others, meaning social media, and constantly like, oh, well, this post do well. Oh, what's the likes on this? And when you start monetizing and putting your gratification into that, you are going to lose yourself very quickly. So I advise you, if you are doing that right now, or if you have a tendency to get some type of stimulus off of posting, or even if you're not a poster, we're going to also get into the area of you just kind of like binge watching social media or scrolling through it like it is the newspaper. So 2 different sides to it. Even when I was posting a lot on my fitness page, I wasn't really even big on scrolling or looking into other people, because I know then, it's tough. You can start to compare yourself, and it's just a big disastrous world. There's so much out there nowadays where you just have to really know what to look out for, what's real, what's not real. Um, I think if you truly want to find gratification in your life, you have to start filtering out the bullshit. Filter out the bullshit. Get it out. So, one thing you can start doing is filtering out your social media of what you are looking at. So, if you know it's not benefiting you in any way, unfollow it. You have to let the algorithm, social media, pick up things, even if you're just looking at it. You don't even have to like it. But if you click into something, it's going to feed you with more. So if you're constantly looking at um, naked women or people who are just not feeding your mind in a good space, then your feed is just constantly going to be hijacked by all this stuff that's not even giving you any justice. So, what's on your news feed is feeding your mind. What's on your news feed is feeding your mind. Take out the bullshit. So, there's that first tip. You could start, I don't know, unfriending people that are doing you an injustice, people who that you don't even know, that you are comparing your life to, that you are comparing your body to. And I started to do that. I started to compare not so much my life, but I started to find, yes, fitness influencers that I looked up to, but I started comparing. Like I started to feel like my body wasn't good enough or I'm not doing this right in business and it really had nothing to do with me. It's just kind of our culture and society that we're in today. And you have to be super self aware and mindful that you don't get caught up in that because you'll start to lose yourself. So, by me telling you that, it's honestly why I have truly backed off of social media. I'm honestly just enjoying me time. I'm enjoying not to have to constantly create, and then depend on the outcome of it. I just want to be, and that's okay. I just want to be alone in my little bubble and read. And let me tell you something. What's crazy is I was on the treadmill the other day and I was just thinking about stuff and I was like, I used to hate to read. And I'm just so proud of myself. I've bought so many books over the past couple of months and I actually enjoy reading because there is so much knowledge in books. And, throughout this podcast, I will be recommending and telling you the books I utilized for my self development. But books are, there's so much power in books. Like everyone says, like, oh, you need to, I'm not saying don't go to school, but we learn from books in school. You can learn from a book and study it on your own and get just as much as knowledge from these doctors and experts out here that are creating books. So I don't know. It's a win-win for me from something I used to like hate doing. And I just enjoy self-development books. I think it's super interesting. I enjoy learning about the mind. I enjoy learning about the body and all what it has to offer. So, with that being said, friends, I hope you find something um, that you can implement into your self development toolkit where you're like, holy shit, I wasn't doing this 2 years ago, or I used to hate doing this, or I used to dread meditating, but now it's part of my daily routine. So, I think that's all a part of the journey. And, like I was saying, just try to step away if you can from the social media. I think it's good for everybody to take a break from it. There's so much toxic stuff out there that's just fueling your mind. And I think the worst thing that we do is we utilize our idle space for some type of stimulus. So if any time we have idle time within ourselves, we tend to what? We're not by ourselves in quietness. We're turning on Netflix, we're checking our phones, we're listening to some type of music, some type of stimulus, because we do not know how to operate in a space of just being alone by ourselves. And I think that's what we have to really learn to do, because a lot of people just hate being with themselves. They hate being with their thoughts. And if you just keep running and running from your thoughts, you're never going to find a solution for anything in your life. So when you're able to just sit back, take a moment to reflect on what's going on in your life, whether it's good or bad, just be able to sit with it. I think that says something within itself. We can't address our thoughts and issues if we're always preoccupied. It's just not going to happen. So next time you're like trying to distract yourself or get away from something, kind of take a moment and say, like, am I doing this to distract myself, or am I doing this to literally be leisurely? I think we have to just be more aware of the intention behind what we are doing. So one thing I also think that's god awful is when people, I think you should try to not look at your phone immediately when you get up, because that is going to set the tone for your day. So say if you go on social media, right, you see something super depressing, or you see something of somebody you're comparing yourself to, that's automatically going to register in your head and start the tone of the day. So find something else to do. If you're spiritual, wake up, first thing you do, pray, or wake up, drink some water, go meditate, do something positive to start your day, because social media is not positive. I mean, unless you're just looking at all yogi stuff and spiritual stuff. But I just don't recommend starting your day with social media or even just emails. Just kind of give yourself at least an hour to be by yourself, because this world will throw shit at you once you get into it. So what we do with our spare time shows who we are and what we value and prioritize. So just think about that. Next time you have some spare time, intentionally say, what am I going to do with this spare time? Am I just going to shit it away, or am I going to be intentional about it? Okay. So how can we recognize ourselves when we're so caught up in the world and what others are doing? We don't. And I think that's where I'm at right now. And I think this season and journey of my life, even kind of keeping up with enough in this podcast, some days is hard for me, because I kind of just want to live my life. And I think sometimes I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be looked up to. I just kind of want to focus on myself. And like I said, that's okay. And sometimes it's okay to be selfish, because I think we forget we want to try to pour into so many other people. But if we're not pouring into ourselves, we're never going to be able to pour into those others. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're thinking like, oh, I feel so selfish for doing that. Oh, I feel so bad, or shit, I fucking feel bad. I feel bad sometimes when I be thinking like, dang, I don't want to continue with this. But it also is helping me heal and grow within itself to be able to provide this type of information for people who don't know how to get it or are just starting, because I was there as well. But no, that's just me being super honest and transparent and human, right? I'm not no superhero. I am just like you. And that was my kind of goal. It is my goal with enough, just knowing that just because I'm on this platform doesn't make me any different. It doesn't make me any higher. I still have shitty days. I still go through it. And I just wanted to have people be like, hey, I feel like that too. So that's my goal. So, I hope today you kind of are able to be like, you know what? I am going to start being more intentional about my spare time. I'll tell you a story. So last week, it was nice out. So for those who are on the East Coast or in a place where it's starting to get nice and warm, take advantage of it, get outside, go for a walk. So I decided, I was like, oh, it's nice out today. I'm going to go for a walk by the river. And typically, sometimes I'll bring my headphones and I'll listen to a podcast while I'm walking. I don't really only listen to music if I'm like going for a jog, or maybe I'll listen to a motivational type of YouTube video if I'm jogging. But I just wanted to go for a walk, and I didn't bring my headphones. I said, you know what? I'm going to go for this walk, and I just want to be a part of the world. I want to hear the things around me. I want to see the things around me. I don't want to have a stimulus in my ear. And I just want to take a second for me to breathe and be with myself. And it felt so good to do that. And even while I was doing that, I was able to find a place. I sat and I even meditated for 5 minutes. And it's just so nice to be able to have that quiet you time. No stimulus. You just stop. You just settle in. You take in the warmth and the beauty that's around you. And I think when you start to be able to do that, you truly do appreciate the little things in life. Like this morning, I was looking out my window. It sounds so silly, but this little squirrel came running up. And it just made me happy. It was just so cute how you just appreciate the little things that are going on in life. Because I think life sweeps us away with what others think, and social media and culture and what we're trying to be like. And, it goes down the rabbit hole, but I don't know. I just think there's so much beauty in being able to take in what life is and what is surrounding you. So, yes, just take a deep breath, take a step back. I want you to challenge yourself to take a moment this week of silence, whether that's on a walk, whether that's you, I don't know, cooking with quietness. Just find a moment for you for no stimulus. So that's my challenge for you. Something you could take to put into your toolbox, have a moment of silence. And like I say, guys, please, if you have any questions for me, I'm available on my Instagram, Enough Daily. You can DM me there. Also, Taylor by Marie. You can ask me any questions there. Or if you want to hear a topic, just let me know. So I'm going to leave you like I always do by saying, don't live an insane life, because if nothing changes, nothing changes.